Ooh, okay, it's working now. Ah, 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 oh, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ah, e. All right. This is offensive. That may have sound. Meow, 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 meow. I think the game is loud enough. Hopefully I'm louder, hopefully. If I'm not, I don't care. Just kidding. Or do I? Meow, meow, meow. Okay, I think it's working. Everything is working. Yes, I think. I don't know. Let me hear it. If that came through the mic, that's gonna loop through eternity. You may hear my fan. The one and only fan I have. I'm so fine. You have no idea. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. This is What Remains of Edith Finch. It's been 7 years since it was released. One of my all-time favorites. One of them. I really like the layout of the house, even though it's black. It's like impossible, basically. But yeah, I love this game. It's been 7 years since its release. It's developed by Giant Sparrow and published by Annapurna, which, you know, it has the Annapurna seal. It should be a nice and interesting, to say the least, adventure. But hey, thanks everybody that's tuning in. And yeah, I'm Jokerino, formerly known as sadicjoker. And yeah, this is a story that's mostly based on narrative and has a voice actor. It's basically a walk-in sim, a graphic adventure that tells the story of the Finches. Someone coming back to a house, one of the family members, and reliving what their story was. And it's not a cheery one, but it is interesting and captivating, to say the least. As mentioned, a bewitching story that I hope everybody can experience by themselves. And if not, here it is. There's a lot of loud sounds. Let me check something real quick again with the sounds. I hope you guys are not getting them too loud. It is very loud on my end. I shouldn't be loud on yours. Ba 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 ba. Yeah, yeah. Okay, it's probably just showing that it's not on mine. Okay. I'm worrying too much. We're heading towards the island of what's it called? Orca's Island, I think. That's where our family is situated. Is it moving? Are we getting somewhere? I never waited until like it stops or something. Because it is moving, and it's bound to stop somewhere at some point. Oh, it forces me to go into the book. Nice. Okay.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
The house. Again. Let me just check things. Sound effects low. Music kind of low. Dialogue to the max. Yeah. Probably that. Alright. This is the barge stand.
Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it.
Oh. Someone came before us. There's no running. Yes. It is a beautiful game.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
11. Ooh. Nice little flowers there.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Ooh.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Brother Lewis's funeral. Okay, that's where the story starts. I had a brother. His name's Lewis.
In her will,
And
my mother
passed.
left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
That's mom for you. That's so beautiful.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Hoofprints. Oh, this. Oh. It's seen this. Yes. Hi. No, don't go away. So there is vegetation, there's animals around. It did go straight, didn't it? And it should have jumped around.
The truth
That's
is,
funny.
even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it.
Never thought I'd come back to it.
But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
The house knew the answers to. Is this Stephen King? Ah, look how majestic this is. I've been trying to reproduce this house in Minecraft. It's pretty solid.
The house was
also pretty
exactly
difficult.
like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Missing. Milton Finch. There's a dragon.
I asked Edie once about the dragon in the pond. She said it had killed her husband. I was 6. It seemed like an odd joke to me, even then.
Even then, yeah. Beep, 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 beep. Beautiful.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
It is unsettling. I'll give you that. It kinda is.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
17 years old, afraid. Yeah, it's creepy somehow, in some many ways. Can I sit down? No. I'm playing this like it's my first time playing this. I played like 5 times, possibly. The key is not for here.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Ah, so precious. Gary's potting mix. Ooh. We have branding. So it's green here, and I think it's green there. There's like blue, white, a little bit of teal, white there. I think it's orange in some of the sides. Yes, it's orange here. That's interesting. We have the garage. Nothing here. Can I not? No. We have... Can I go through this door? Does it prompt something?
The house felt like it had always been here. Even the swing set was older than my mother.
Oh, I never seen this. That dialogue prompt. Probably the one that I've missed the most. Missed as in never catched it. A hose with the most... Never mind. The doggy door.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
I would believe so, yes. Oh, I never realized it has double... Oh. Okay, there's a different ceiling here. I never noticed that. All books, it's all the same books around the house, which I find interesting, to say the least. The tools. Oh, these are the things the grandma did. No, the mother did to lock the doors and make them as memorials for the people who died.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
It's been a long time ago. 6 years ago?
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
That means that when you
But
left...
instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Yes.
Like how after Louis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Such a pretty game.
Or how only one restaurant would deliver to our house. So we had Chinese a lot.
A lot. Loving memory of Louis Finch, beloved brother to Edith, son of Dawn, great grandson to Edie. Eddie? Edie. Edie. Yeah, it's Edie Finch. Memorial Service. Fireweed Road. Oh, here we have Lewis, Edie, Edith, and Dawn. I think Dawn is our mother. Edith is us. Edie is grandma. And Lewis is our brother that passed away. We'll get to that. No worry.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Sparing the furniture. Kind of. Oh, we can see. Oh, okay. You can see inside the. That's interesting. I never noticed this windows, these things around here. I love that. I'm looking for the architecture of this house because it's wacky. It's interesting. Let me check. Let me check. Oh, we go here. Oxygen.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
Oh, she wanted. Yeah, our mom wanted to take grandma to a nursing home. She wasn't great in the health department. Orca's Island. Public market. We have Pacific Coast Seafood from Cove to Stove. The Holiday Feast. Witch's Kitchen. Cannot read some of these. The Smoke in the Forest. Cosmic Cuisine. Secrets of the Stove. Wok and Tempura. The Pleasures of Japanese Cooking. Made of Meat. A Good Table. The Sublime Supper. Raw Fowl. I love this. Flowers of Ladia? I don't know. Tasting Thailand. Viking's Belly. The Nordic Cookbook. Yes, because this is a Nordic family. All of the same books around. I like that.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
A smile with too many teeth. That's such a creepy.
Even the fireplace
visual.
had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house after it sank.
It sank in the river. In the lake. That's the top of the house, I think. You can barely see it. You probably won't be able to see it at 720p. This is the living room. There's a lot of books, a lot of them. Okay.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Aha, didn't fit. Barbara.
Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
So pretty. Barbara Finch. Yes, she was an actress. Oh, is this Milton? It probably is. But when did he get lost? Oh, many of the bugs. Many of them bugs. What do we see here? Okay. The war. I was going to say, this is like a beehive, but it's not. It's a bird's nest. At least a replica of one. There's a lot of blue burbs around. Is this a cello? Yeah, it's huge. Wait, but it has a... It can't be a viola. It's too big to be a viola. It's funny because this has a shoulder rest. I never noticed this. This is funny. A cello with a shoulder rest. It's not a shoulder rest, it's a chin rest. I think that's what you call it. For the size, it should be a viola then, not a violin. I may be tripping. I don't know. I'm just looking at things that I hadn't looked at before. I may spare you of the details of the baby story. I think that's the saddest one, the creepiest one. But as I said before, we'll see how it goes. I didn't say that before. Shut up.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
If you want to see Milton's story, you have to play the unfinished Swan. Well, that's an overselling. It's not his story, but there's mentions of who he is. It's connected somehow. It's not extremely obvious because I think that game came before this one. More than likely. I'm not sure.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Whirlwind. I would believe so.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
That's creepy to say that. The chair to help you go.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms.
Oh, that's when
Then
she
Edie
sealed them.
retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Edie. Edie is grandma. Mom is Dawn. So, okay. Let me just check the rooms from outside first. Then we're gonna enter. We're gonna try answering them.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
1944, 1960. Something is plugged in. Going upstairs.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Time and the Gods. The Library of Babel. Swan's Way. 51 Tales. A Dreamer's Tale. The Book of Wonder. The Library of Babel. What? That's the same name, but a different type of book. That's interesting. Is this mom or is this grandma? Pregnant. Yeah, this is mom. She's sealing the doors. Or she's painting the doors. Oh, okay.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
Odin, Allfather. Nice reference. His great grandfather.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara. The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Oh yeah, she painted things for everyone. The blue bird that we see everywhere. Sven, Hofstad, Finch, and Edie. Hofstad, Finch. Sven, it's our grandpa. It's Edith's husband. Not Edith. Edie, husband.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
You'd think that some of those assumptions. I think that there's some of those assumptions that actually happen to everybody, like the way your family behaves and all that is like the norm for way you measure other people, and then it's just, you see and you meet other people and they tell you about theirs. It's just like it's not the same. Not all families behave the same way. That's an interesting way of learning about others. Always be patient. They know something you don't. You know something they don't. You can always learn from everybody. Calvin.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
With his dead brother. 7 years. With his brother that is now dead. You can sense this. Quite a bit of death. This. Oh, is this Molly? She has a sort of a cat mask. Ah, that's so lovely. And you'll know why the cat's in a fear.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
A lot of death. Look at the age. 1973? 1937, sorry. 1947. 10 years. She was 10 years old. No, let's go back. I said I was going to breeze through the game, and I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it currently.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Walter. Oh, this is the house? This is the destroyed house that is... Oh... I never understood many of these things and just took them for granted. The Finches, yes, this is what it says here. So this is a house that's sunk. We're gonna get to the story of this house in a minute. Where it is under the water, underwater. I love that. That's an interesting way to mention how things work.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Aha. Click, click, click. To the right.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Aha. Chapter 1.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Yes. All the things that your mom kept away from you.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Milton, that's our brother that went missing.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door.
Oh, this goes
Just like I had no
inside the
idea
closet?
where all this was gonna lead.
Where is all this going to lead?
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Even tinier. That's lovely. Molly's room.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Yes, that's probably the feel that you would have when you're just somewhere that you're not allowed to get into. Then you, years later, you're like inside the place. That's an interesting thought to have. Alright, this is Molly's story.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Why are we gonna eat?
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
We ate it.
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
Go to sleep. Yes. We've been sent without dinner. How dare she? What is this?
I kept eating and eating.
No, that's not good for you.
I ate a lot of things that night.
This is less good for you. Come on. Little child. That's such a pretty game. This is such a pretty game.
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
What?
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Don't eat
It
Christopher.
was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
And then?
And suddenly, I was a cat.
Where are we going? Jump. Ah, this is...
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Yes. Ah.
Mom
Go
and
here.
Dad didn't even look at me.
Mom and Dad? Oh, this is Van and Edie. Round. Let's go. Catch it. Ah. Ah.
I jumped and I almost got her.
Got her.
I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
Mama bird. You get this.
I gobbled her up. And
What's happening?
suddenly, I was an owl.
Ooh.
First,
Oops.
all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
It's
imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons.
This is
I
lovely.
swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit.
Didn't chew one
Then I
bit.
flew off to find something bigger.
The accomplishment on her voice is so wholesome.
A mama,
Mama
rabbit.
rabbit. Yes. Yeah. I missed it. Where is it? Where is Mama Rabbit? There we go.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating.
Eat and eat and
Suddenly,
eat and eat.
I was a shark.
Shark. Oh. Bonk. 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 Wobble. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Bonk. 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 Bonk.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Hungry. Bum 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 ba 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 bum 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 bum. This part usually goes faster. What am I missing? I hear something.
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Fat, juicy seals. Around.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Where is it? There we go. Really? Oh, there it is.
I grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
People. Now we are a monster. Big old monster. Wow, wow.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
We're eating people.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
I missed the text by doing that. Can I go to the front of it? No, it doesn't matter. Oh, hey, Captain.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
She had to have.
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
And it's an old pipe. Yes. Where are we going? Going back into the city? Huh? I think I know where this place is.
I got closer and closer.
Did I eat the gerbil?
All my stomach started growling.
All of my
And
stomachs.
suddenly, I was me again.
That was me again.
I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Yes.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
Can I open the basket? No. I came through there.
I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
Oh. It's a nice, cute little girl. Just a nice little girl. She had a really, really great imagination. That's amazing. Can I go back? Oh, you can't? Can? No, you can't go back. Okay. So Molly died of food poisoning, basically. This is how the monster supposedly killed Daddy. It was a dragon, I think, that Edie said. So here. It's such a beautiful view.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories.
I would believe
Edie
so.
would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Oh yeah, that's the cat's name. So this is the living room slash, no, this living room. You can see this here. Go back, you can see the house lighting. You go across just like the getting late type of lighting. Lighting. But this doesn't go all the way around. Oh, there's a space here. Okay. That's interesting to know. Oh, you have the big trees. Yeah, that's basically it. This is our grandparents' house.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, She could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
She didn't. Dragon kills Finch. Tragedy strikes Finch family. Celebration turns into a death. He was doing creating a dragon-shaped slide, and he died because of that.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Edie won't go. Orcas Island Gazette. 72-year-old woman refuses to evacuate because a little forest fire. The mysteries of death and thereafter. Molly concepts. Mural sketches. Barbara concepts. Norse Folkimbentir. I butchered that completely. The illusion of life on memory. The Odyssey. Jorge Luis Borges. Ah, that's amazing. Tales from Beyond. The Jungle Book. Are these like actual books? Alice in Wonderland. Mummification. In Search of Lost Time. White Fang. They look like they are. Oryx and Crackle and Crake. Cracky. I don't know. Crikey.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
Edith Jr. There's something I never heard on female names. Like Junior.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
There's a continuation to this story. A mole man. It's
Edie
actually
knit me a new pair of
someone else.
gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
A week? Oh, so that's what triggered ourselves, our mom wanting to leave the house. Okay. Oh yeah, these are all dead. And pets. This is Derpy. Like the name of the pets is like Zerpy. I cannot see it from here. It's something Erpy as well. Zerpy, Erpy, Purply, Lurpy, Burpy, Bob. Bob was a snake. You have Derpy as well. All birds. This was a lizard or a frog? Lurpy. Purply. Just like an owl. Yes. She always memorialized her family. Which is a loving thing to do. It is also incredibly sad. I had a pet snake. That's funny. Shrine sketches. There's no video here.
Even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Hey. Is this something here?
Her room was like a museum.
Yes, of all the family things that happen, everything it's there. This is lovely. The mysteries of death and thereafter. Odin. The story of our
For
great
500
grandfather.
years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune.
Fortune of money, misfortune of fate.
Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan.
The family curse. His wife Ingeborg and their newborn son Johan. Okay, the wife Ingeborg and son Johan. Those died? Yes, Ingeborg.
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Yeah, so basically, he moved his house on a boat, on a ship, and without his family from the place because he thought there was a curse. Like their family, his family died out of nowhere or stuff like that. Just close 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington sent the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Odin's daughter Edith, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island.
Yes, Edie is our grandmother, and Sven is our grandfather, the one who died on the slide that was shaped like a dragon.
Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery.
They created a cemetery almost before the house, finishing the house.
His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Oh, that's the living room. That's nice. 500 years, the Finches have been famous. Alright. How do I leave my back?
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Yeah, when you have the little leaf, that means the partner of the person. That's not part of the family, I think. Or that's just the partner. Someone that doesn't have the last name, the surname. All right, something here. Here. Built in 1937, Sven Finch.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Okay.
It was a pretty big trace.
Yeah. Don't ever. No. Don't. Jamás. Nunca. No. There's nothing. Ah, the little froggy. That's cool. A bottle of oh Lord. Mount Rainier National Park. More hidden rooms.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Nice.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Sven gave Sam. Okay. Sven is grandfather, sorry. And Sam is our dad? No. I forget. I completely forget. Calvin Finch. Milton. Another one. Milton was here.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
Never talked about him. Yeah, this is the Sam's part. This is Calvin's part. Sam loved hunting, loved guns, I think. Loved America. Yeah, that's a helmet. Like all those things. And Calvin, his twin, liked robots and science fiction and space. We're gonna get to Sam's story later. This is Calvin's story.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did.
Oh.
At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
That's such a tragic and majestic story. The way I want to remember my brother. He wanted to fly.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Calvin. So this is the family tree. Let's see. Edith at the top is who we are now. At the bottom to the right is Odin and Ingeborg. So Odin, child was Edie, which is our, it's not a grandmother, she's our great grandmother. That's what I've been missing. She's our great grandmother. Man. And Edie's kids were Molly, the little girl who died, Barbara, whose story we're gonna see soon, Calvin, that was also friends with, not friends, twins with Sam. And I think Sam is our grandfather. And then we have Walter to the right. Walter's room is the blue room that we've found the first lock to unlock with our key. Then it's Gregory, Gus, and Dawn. Dawn is our mother. Gus and Gregory were her brothers. And you see Sanjay. Sanjay is our father. To the left, top left. Then we have Lewis, who passed away. Milton, who's missing. And Edith. Us. Basically. Things will get clearer as we go.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Oh, he enlisted. Yeah, he never wanted to see this again. Oh, there we are. Sam, Grandpa, Calvin, our great uncle? Grand uncle? Maybe. Now. These are all painted books. I love that. Never realized it.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
This is Barbara's room.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Child star. Yes, she. Something happened to her. Because she grew. She wasn't a kid anymore when she passed away. Barbara. She was 16? 6? Yeah, 16. Okay. She's not such a grown-up as I thought she was. And this is Barbara's story.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
It's in the form of a comic book.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream.
Meow.
Now at
That's such a nice
16, she was all washed up.
Washed up?
A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a
Beasticon.
local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
That's not
Getting
great.
better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter.
Walter,
Her
that's
convention
Walter.
comeback was cancelled.
He's playing with a little toy train.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration,
It's beautiful.
but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came
Hoodlums.
from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages.
Secret passage.
There's a
yes.
key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box,
And this part is interactive.
and as she wound the
I'm
key,
playing here.
she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Hey, Milo, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you. The basement.
She
Something
found
happened.
Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
That's our boyfriend's crutch. Let's hit everything. Let's hit everything that we can. Is there a monster? Oh, it's blood. Falling asleep, so I won't be here for long. Hey, no worries, no worries. I appreciate you stopping by. Bonk, bonk. There we go.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Oh, this is where our great-grandfather cut his hand. Bonk.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Hurrah.
Oh dear!
Oh dear. Bonk.
Oh!
Rick?
Our boyfriend.
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show.
Late picture show.
Hours later,
Barbara! Walter? What's
Walter?
going on up there?
That's her brother.
Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Oh. I can hit things. This is funny. Can I hit things? She threw him over something like that? That doesn't seem very reasonable. Oh. This is a skate. Skate? That's not way. It's not a skate. What do you call it? I don't know how you call it in English. It's a patin in Spanish. The story is a little bit more intricate than that, but yes, you are not completely wrong. Walter Finch.
Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside
Our little
radio
brother.
was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned saw the hook man and was speechless.
Speechless.
He was quite smashing. And whoever he was, he couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
We have this invaders in the U3 zombie. Face me the selfies. I think it's like Tales from the Crypt
She played her part
reference.
beautifully.
Very old show. So
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groan.
the other escape.
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Yet. Okay, let's get him. Let's get him again. Go, 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 go. Run. Run, Barbara. Barbara, you can. Oh, he's not there anymore.
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Oh dear. Animated comic book, yes.
The door was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Yeah, loving, I gotcha.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent.
Magnificent.
She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard.
Oh, poor
That's
Walter.
another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box was all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real
Eerie tale. Young Peter Parker. Yeah. All right, so
Edie
that's
told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered. As absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
a happy ending to her life. So this is the story of the tree of the Finches, our family, the family tree. At the top we have Edith. That's our character, the narrator of this whole story. She's came back to a house that her mom thought was haunted, because every family member kept dying for some reason or for some strange reasons, and things. There's like a curse of the Finch family. Odin is our great grandfather. Then Sam would be our grandfather. Yes, we have Edie and Sven as well. Molly was a kid. She was her great aunt. I don't know. I don't even know how to say those things. But yeah, this is basically where we're going through the house and reliving some of the stories. Barbara was one of her family members, and she was a child star that when she grew up, she was washed up at 16 years old, and she wanted to do one more presentation, and her boyfriend was Rick. He was helping her getting to her famous screen that made her famous when she was a child. That's her as a child. She had a nice screen for horror movies. And oh, this is the mask that he was using. Huh, that's interesting. And that's why he tried to make her scream, but he couldn't. And it's vague as to how she died. There's theories that she died because the gang of hoodlums that were tormenting the town entered her house, and they were like fans of her, and they ended up killing her. And there's another theory that says they ate her alive and just left her ear. And there's another story that actually says that Rick, her boyfriend, was the one that actually killed her, and he took her body or something like that.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Yes. This is the house, and it has a lot of passages. I've been trying to recreate this house in Minecraft. It's so difficult, but I love it. I love the challenge. The music
funny.
box.
All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
We're going to sleep now. Snoozers. Have a good one. Hey, thanks. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it, and have a great night. Okay, so Walter is the Barbara's brother that he saw everything that happened to Barbara, but he was speechless. He couldn't say anything. And there was stories of a mole man as well. Of someone living under
I saw
the
Edie
house.
sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
Carrying
I
packages.
thought maybe she was hiding presents.
She was hiding something else.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
No one has gone very far, yeah, I was about to say. So this is Walter's story. He was scared. He was traumatized for seeing what happened to Barbara. He was thinking there was something out there. There was something in the house that was reaching for everybody. He went crazy because of that. This is his manuscript.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
76 January.
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
Almost friendly. The song.
And then one day, everything just stopped.
Stopped.
Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting.
2005.
Maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can. I know it's out there somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin.
Calvin. The family curse.
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week.
Or a
I'd be
couple
happy
seconds.
with one new day.
You're
I
happy.
can already imagine the sun on my face.
That was not the sun.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
He was always there.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me. Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
It's a possibility.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house,
The mole man.
I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two,
Maybe two.
I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse We made it real.
Made it real. Oh, this is Walter's memorial. That's the house. Oh, this is the path.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family.
We should know about your family? Oh.
And the history you're a part of.
Aha. Is that our belly?
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
They believed their stories. They believed what's happening to them was real. They have the elder here? No. The moon. It's so pretty. This game is gorgeous. 7 years. What else? Nothing. There's a big way towards the house. Like a little shack here. A little beach. A little pier. Then the cemetery up there. Go up quite a bit. Oh, and then you
look
have
at the house.
the house.
That history of imagination and stubbornness and madness. Any of it seems possible.
The way they go, the way they went. The way they are immortalized. Even though they're not here anymore. Can I look through this again? Ah, okay, no, I can't. It's dark.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
What kind of family?
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Oh no. Christopher. Shadow was one of the cats. Bob. Is that the snake? Oliver. Bunny. Shatsy. Little dog. There's a froggy. It has no name. Bailey. We have Derpy Jr., Derpy, Burpy, Chirpy, Furpy, Lurpy, Zerpy. All are Lucy, is that a dog? Daisy, Charlie, another cat, Tucker, Coco, and a few others. This is interesting and very scary.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Molly! This is such a beautiful headstone? Tombstone? Is that how you call it? Calvin Finch. There's such nice remarks for them. Sven, Edie, Grandma. 2010. Walter Finch. Barbara Finch, the star.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
Odin, yes. That's Edith's van.
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie's side was always easier for me to understand.
Oh. Yeah, this is how... No, this is just freaking awesome level design. I had forgotten about that. Let's see if you... This is part of Edith.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Then you go here, and this is where you're lead to. Here. This is where we come from. This is where we lead to. We're led to. It is freaking fantastic. Such a little tiny detail that you'll say, oh, that's just intuitive. It is. That's the point. When you're coming back from that, you're not seeing this part anymore. You're just seeing this. But you didn't see that
But
going
the older
up
I
there.
get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
Just genius level design.
Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Gregory, Sam, and Gus. Sam was our mom's father, our grandfather. Gregory and Gus were our uncles. You will see this. Gregory Finch was born in 76 and passed in 77. That's the most tragic of all of those, I think. Milton, it doesn't say when he died because he actually just disappeared. We don't know if he died or not. Sanjay Kumar, that's her father.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Louis Finch. This is a little king's crown. A nice bench. We're going up.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
This is just beautiful.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
"22 weeks pregnant, 17 years old." Uh-huh. This is not the way.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense. Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Like guns, like defending his country, all of that stuff. Some medals. Can I see here? No. Can I close this door? This is the story of Sam, our grandfather.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm? What? Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged. Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
Aw. You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
I cannot remember what's the next thing I got to. Take a picture of.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hold still while
Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Dawn! I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Oh, we're moving here.
Sorry, Dawn. Just gotta reset the timer.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about—
Dad! Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me. Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something. After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
I will spare you with this one. I don't think I have. I don't want to just. I'm just gonna go the story short. This is the divorce notification from Gregory's father and mother. They've been, I can't remember, they've been fighting or something like that. And she forgot the baby in the bathtub. And the baby downed. That's our uncle. This is our mother's bed. This
I
is our
can't
other
imagine
uncle.
my mom ever writing poetry, and yet. A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
That's the first part.
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, "We don't need a stepmom," were the words that I remember.
We don't need a stepmom.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Fuck off, Dad. I don't care you're getting married again. I mean, I care. Don't.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Can I?
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, Just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Welcome in. Hope you're doing well, man. Congrats on 3K on the YouTubes. That's amazing.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Gus. Yes, I'm not showing Gregory's story because it's probably triggering for some, but it's just not worth it. Not now. For what I'm going for anyway.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Everybody tries to get away from the house. Nobody does it. Nobody gets to do it. Nobody does it. Nobody. Yes, or so? Yes.
I can't imagine what it was like for her to lose 2 sons after she'd already lost 2 brothers. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Sanjay. It's been a great night, yes. Thank you. Oh, what's this? What's happening? No, don't go there. This is the story.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I
Alright.
think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Yeah, this is our mom.
My mom
Open
moved to
this.
India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later.
This is the house that I've been trying to make in Minecraft. I need to
When
actually
my dad
start.
died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go.
My dad
I'm
died.
sure Edie was happy to have her back.
Milton, Edith, and Louis. This is our 3. This is Milton, our brother that's disappeared. Oh, look at the
And to see
plant
kids in the
pots.
house again.
Yeah, this is a lot of this is a huge reference to the Unfinished Swan game. That's like the way that things are placed. That's cool. Mint, thyme, sage, basil. Alright, Milton, our brother who disappeared. Louis, our brother who died. Edith, ourselves. Dawn, our mother. Milton!
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last.
It never lasts. So Mom tried to get away from the house, met this guy, had her children, and then the guy passed away. Thus, the guy is our father. And she came back to the house where the curse continues. Isn't this sad? This is incredibly sad.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
A room full of paintings. Yes. There's like a gazebo thing that I was doing on the Minecraft house. Wait, where's the... Did I miss completely? Where is it? There's a door or something like that? There it is. I missed it completely. My poor fragile heart. Yes. So this is... Yeah. Yes, this song is from the Unfinished Swan I can't remember if that game came first from this one, I think. So everything that was painted, this is our brother Milton that disappeared. Nobody knows where he is, but according to the story, some of them believe he's died, but he actually just escaped from the house and we never knew about him because everybody tries to escape the house, but there's like a curse and everybody somehow ends up dying in a strange manner. But this is so iconic from that game. I love that they tied these two games together. The painter from the Unfinished Swan, the creator of the world, ended up being Milton. He does have a memorial that our great-grandmother did for him, but he's not dead. At least we don't think he is. This is a little part of his story.
Milton
Piano
Finch
is beautiful.
and the magic paintbrush.
Magic paintbrush, yes. That's the story. No. Can you ban me? For like 6 minutes. He painted, achoo, painted. The magic paintbrush. He started doing this. He created a door. Bless you. And he opened the door. And he disappeared. Milton.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
So this is the family tree. That's Edith, our character at the top. Top. Brother Milton. We have our uncle Gus, Gregory, and our mother Dawn right behind that. Then you have our grandfathers and their brothers and sisters. Yes, and Edie. Yes. Our brother Louis passed away. I think he was the last one that passed away. Before Mom. It's just really cool.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
It's creepy. And she sealed the door, yeah. This is the door he painted. Footsteps? Are these our footsteps? We will never know.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Meow, 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 meow. Yeah, this is where Dawn, our mom, taught us. It's like homeschool. All of us.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself.
Edie is
After
our
he graduated, he just spent
grandmother.
more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Mom got him a job at the cannery. That's Louis. Louis was kind of a product. What happened to Dawn? We will see. No, we don't. We don't really see. Dawn is our mother, and I think it just mentioned that she's not here anymore. And we are 17 years old and 22 weeks pregnant.
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Okay, bye, Dawn. Bye, Dawn. Your prego. Yeah, this is our belly. Look, a belly. Us. You cannot see anything. Okay, yes. Our brother Louis. He was a bit of a pothead. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe a little bit wrong. Meow. Meow.
Louis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
In the game. In the game. High school diploma, Louis Finch. Prego, Mayego. Locker contents. This is the story of Louis Finch.
Dear
our
Mrs.
brother.
Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse.
Substance abuse.
Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
I love how they made this. You're playing with the right hand with the mouse. You grab this, the fish, and you keep doing this, the job with the fish. But with the WASD, yes, I'm getting fish. He got a job at the cannery because he was a bit of a lazy guy. So mom got us this job. But with the left hand, you're playing this. His mind began to wonder.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small. Imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved.
If you stop doing
Bats.
if you stop doing the work with your right hand, the fish will pile up and you will not be able to see what's happening on the left side, which I find is pretty genius the way they did this, because they're portraying a way that your dissociation and derealization of how it works, kind of like ADHD or something like that. More
And
like
toads.
dissociation. And things without names.
And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
Like the top-down game.
But he found something more.
No, isn't.
I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the
Asymmetrical.
cannery.
Daydreaming.
I spoke with his boss. But he said Louis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a
We're
whole
so
new Louis.
efficient.
So I let him go on.
You got more 3D, yes.
I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
Oh, doggy. Doggy. Efficient.
On the edge of a city he named Louis Topia.
Louistopia.
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
This is dissociation as it best.
And songs for them to play.
And dissociation slowly
He talked about starting a band.
becomes derealization.
And he was always humming something.
But it's not something that actually
Every day
happens to
his
everybody.
imagination grew stronger.
You can dissociate. Everybody does sometimes when you're just doing
He
something.
no
at
longer
work.
spoke at the cannery.
He
but
was
his
so
chopping was as reliable
efficient
as ever. Then one day it struck him
because he was so focused.
that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
See how the
He'd conquer a city, then
dissociation
immediately push on.
is getting bigger.
New Louisville.
New Louisville.
St. Louis.
Yes.
He started drifting away from our reality.
He started drifting away from our reality.
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery.
He forgot to go home.
Even
from
as
the
his
cannery.
mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on.
Mom? That's Mom. That's Dawn trying to talk to him. But no. We have to remain focused on our story, on our purpose, on our game.
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a
Handsome queen, a beautiful prince. A beautiful prince.
beautiful prince. The prince was on his own quest for
Sinister serpents.
sinister serpents.
Rah. Rah.
He followed the sound of his
Electric sitar.
electric sitar.
No, I missed him.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
Now he's a third person.
He knew the world was all in his imagination.
It's getting more difficult.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is kind of how derealization works. Where
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming.
you start living
And then it struck him
in the
that the real
imagination.
Lewis was not the one chopping salmon,
It's a
but
stage
the
of
one climbing the
schizophrenia.
steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
This is the cannery. Like you blink and you're like, okay, this is a daydreaming to the times a million. This is our stuff, this is our things.
He began to forget the world we know.
First person. Yes, sir. This is the cannery where he works.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
The cannery worker. That's us. Us, I mean, you know, Lewis. He's working. He's working. He's working.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Finch, number 9. How did he do that? Yes. Look. This is us. This is what we've been doing all the time.
I still thought I could save him.
We need to save him.
Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
First person. Hey. Beautiful. This is our reality now. Why live in a sad world where you can
Including the
live
wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
in a colorful world now? Bro was schizophrenic as fuck.
His prince waited, holding his crown.
The prince.
There was only one thing left to do.
Our crown.
Bend down his head.
Our crown.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My sincerest condolences, Dr. Emily Nuth.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
We're writing a story of our family to our kid that's unborn yet. Did you just lose your head? Yes. The theory for the game, it's that there's 2 theories. One of them is that he actually thought he was in that world and he bent his head over the machine to get his crown. Or the other one is that he was just so lost that he just cut his arm and his hand off and bled to death. Both of them are like involuntary suicides or just something like that. He ended up killing himself because he was derealized from the world.
He was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch.
Our father is Indian, which is a nice twist to the story because everything is Norse and the rest of the family.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
Did it not go up here? Oh, here.
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. wish we'd stayed.
This is
But I
where
understand why we left.
our mom and I lived. I think this is like my place, my room of our character.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Yeah. It's so sad. This is our mom? No, this is our father. Disaster Relief Sanjay Kumar. This is our father. This is the place where our mom stayed.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
This is our room.
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now was to tell you about that last night.
The last night before we left the house. 6 years ago.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word.
She didn't say a word.
Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Edith is us. Edie is great-grandma. And Dawn is our mother.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance, or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
You think is the family curse that makes everybody die?
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
History of the Finches by Edie Finch, our great-grandmother.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it.
So basically, why is the house there? Odin, the father of our great-grandmother, our great-great-great-father, he escaped from Finland, Sweden, I don't remember where he escaped from, but he brought a whole house. He was going to take it to like the US, and right before he on the boat, on the ship that was carrying a house, had a sort of an accident, and the house sank to the bottom of the sea, killing Odin. And Edith and her Edie, our great grandmother, and her husband survived. That's the house.
The fog rolled in. I lost my way. I got turned around. I started seeing things.
A deer. A deer.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. And I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again.
Great-Grandma?
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
She was already gone.
After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot.
She
The
started
rest
getting
happened
sick.
pretty quickly.
Dawn Finch.
She got better for a while, and then she didn't.
That's her mom.
And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it.
I hope you'll never see it.
I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Edith Finch. So this is our kid, and we're not even there. So Edith died giving birth at 17. Shirley Dallas. That's the story of what remains of Edith Finch. Incredibly sad story. narrated in the most beautiful way possible. Yes, it is incredibly sad. It is incredibly, sometimes eerie, sometimes comical when it needs to be. But it is, by all definitions, an amazing adventure. So this is one of my all-time favorites as well. Not because of the story or how it goes, not because I can relate to any of the characters, but the way it tells stories in such a different way that you'd expect from a video game. You enter the mind of a little kid who thinks she's becoming a cat, who thinks she's becoming a shark, and eats everything at her on her way. She actually represents that she died of food poisoning or starvation. And that's such a horrible outcome, but it's told in such a unique and memorable way that makes this game a piece of art. You have the story of Louis, the brother of Edith, and he completely dissociates and then derealizes to the point that leads him to his death. You have our grandfather, Sam, who knew about the curse of the family, and instead of hiding from death, he went out to seek death. He enlisted, he loved guns, he went to wars, he went hunting and all of that. And the time he stopped doing all that and he took his kid, our mother, he ended up getting killed by an accident with a deer that wasn't completely dead. A lot of irony, a lot of sarcasm, but it is a family. This is the story of a whole family. I love how the levels are designed. It's one of the reasons why I love the architecture of the house, because everything connects somehow, and it's so beautiful, beautifully crafted, to say the least. There's this one part at the cemetery that you go into the, I don't know how to call it, like it's not like telescope, but the part where you can look out, the lookout point in the cemetery. And then when you go back, it leads you to the other path. And it's so flawlessly done, which is amazing. We could easily just ended up going to the going back, but no, you basically don't see the path going back, the way it leads you. And yeah, this is a beautifully crafted, eerie, sad story as a whole. Has unique gameplay to many of the stories that's being told, and it portrays them in a very unique way. You can call this a walk-in simulator, you're not wrong. It's an adventure with a narration that's done flawless. Beautiful game, beautiful narration, completely eerie sad stories. I've been watching Still, you're just on the TV. Hey, thank you. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. But this is a very, very beautiful game. I recommend anyone who hasn't tried it for yourself. But if you're here, you've probably already seen all of it, most of it. But yeah, if you like indie games, you like beautifully crafted stories and narrations, this is it. This is like Peak, published by Annapurna, developed by Giant Sparrow. You can also try Unfinished Swan, but that one is a little bit more. That doesn't have the narration like this one has. It's much more puzzly than what this is. Never played it, but I've seen decent amount, and many people recommended it. Yes, this is a really beautiful game. A walking sim, as I mentioned, but it is quite enjoyable. Quite enjoyable on the mechanics and admiring that, not the story on its own, because it's very eerie from start. A lot of irony and a lot of playful words were played with death and all this stuff. There's like you may see that Gregory is not painted in this album that I'm seeing, is because I skipped his story, because that's the most triggering for some people. Because Gregory, if you can see there, is 1976 to 1977. That's the most tragic of all those, I would say. And it was completely avoidable. But yeah, this has been the What Remains of Edith Finch. A really cool narrated story. Anybody wanting to dig more into Milton's story, you can play Unfinished Swan. You can try to understand a little bit more of what happened to Milton. Even though it's not unfolded, there's some innuendos. I don't know if that's the word for that. There's some here and there, some things that you can understand from it, or you can take and make your own conclusions from those. And that's it. This was What Remains of Edith Finch. Thanks everybody who was stopping by. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for lurking. Thanks on the YouTube. Thanks on the Twitch. Thank you, Milo and Lucian, for being the soul chatters tonight. Much love to y'all. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks everybody for stopping by. For showing some love to the streams. And on the YouTube side, nice. For showing some love to the streams. I really want to keep doing this more consistently, but I don't know. Just tired at night, usually. And yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by, for showing some love, and I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow. But I say it would be tonight because it's already 2:42 a.m. But yeah, I feel tired. I could say you've been at it. You need some rest, and so do I. Tomorrow is Sunday, so there should be time for a nice stream. It'll either be, I cannot promise what it'll be. I want it to be Ghost of Tsushima, but it may just as well be some indie or type of indie game. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yes, Muriel sleeps, and I'll probably do that right after this, or not. There's a possibility. I just started watching some videos, and I just when I realized this was like 4 a.m. and I hadn't slept yet. I could play other games. I don't know. ADHD is kicking in. The other thing, replay a story is available. Yeah, I can go back to all the parts. Yes. All right. I'll see you on Roku. Yes. I need to install the game, start a match, and see it giving me server errors. Gotta love that. In any case, yes. Thanks everybody for being here, and I'll hope you see you in the next one. Take it easy. See you soon. Good night. Have a great night, everybody.